Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Bodacious Rant with Burn and Rye. I'm Burn, in case you didn't know, and the guy over there that's just like miming. it's
Yeah.
that's Rye.
Oh, I'm just having fun, Bert. I'm having fun. Oh, it sucks that WandaVision's already over, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. But some great things coming up soon. Again,
Yeah.
Falcon Winter Soldier, but ultimately the Snyder Cut, which I cannot wait for. I'm so psyched.
Schneider, yeah, Schneider. Wait,
No,
maybe
he's
I shouldn't
not.
say
Yeah, he's not Nazi. Let's
it.
not throw him in that lot, but not necessarily Nazi, but I don't think he's German. Actually, no, it's not a problem. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to analyze the whole name thing
We're not
today.
going to analyze names right now.
No, that's definitely not what it is.
But what we are talking about today is the hot new Disney Plus edition or Disney edition, because I guess it's releasing in some theaters wherever they're open, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Disney movie Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yes. And initial thoughts. What did you think of it, Burn?
I enjoyed myself, coming into it, I hadn't seen really a lot of trailers, a lot of, things on the movie. I had a general idea from things you would tell me, or maybe like small like YouTube ads here and there that I would, skip ad right away. So didn't really get the full gist of it. But, coming into it pretty blind, I did find it pretty entertaining as a movie. It's not a perfect movie by any means. It's not, the best animated thing I've seen in a while. It's not anything like that, but it was an enjoyable, really good time. And if there was one word that I can use to describe this movie is style. This movie oozed with a lot of style, and it was a pretty good visual treat, especially being able to enjoy it from the comfort of my own couch.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Definitely not the best Disney movie ever. I'm not gonna. I mean,
And it didn't need to
as
be,
no, it didn't. It doesn't need to be. We already have some. I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts, the King of Lions. So yeah, I don't really know how to feel about it, to be honest. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. There were parts I liked,
Mhm.
but I just didn't really fulfill anything for me. So I'm gonna.
Right.
It was okay overall. I would, out of rantings, I'm gonna give it like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 too. Solid. Nothing made like too crazy. I mean, the animation was beautiful, and we'll get
Oh,
into that when.
absolutely. The animation was beautiful. Like top again, Disney just keeps upping the bar with animation every time they release something movie wise. Like Soul was great. This is another level of great.
Mhm.
Um, and the cast was fantastic.
Oh yeah, the
Starring
voice actors.
Raya, starring Kelly Marie Tran, Aquafina, Gemma Chan, and let me see who else. Benedict Wong, the grandma from Fresh Off the Boat. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Just a lot of good actors overall. Like it's primarily Asian cast, which is amazing. That's
Yeah.
that's a good thing. Um, but yeah, like I said, it was just animation, the cast, the characters are pretty well done. I like that. Overall, like I said, the story was just super basic, nothing new
Yeah,
really.
just pretty standard.
And yeah, I got a very much of like Korra and the Last Airbender feel from this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if I can like describe it by like saying other movies, I would definitely put like Avatar: The Last Airbender, maybe a little bit of like Black Panther there, with like a lot of the different like tribes and just like the world building aspect of it. And there was a lot of I at least for me personally, I saw like a little bit of uh Tarantino influence, maybe a little bit of like Soderbergh influence in like some parts of the movie. And yeah,
Interesting.
like I said, there was just a lot of really cool style in certain scenes and certain just parts of the movie that we can't really touch on now in the non-spoiler sections. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like it was cool to see. It was a really fun time, and everybody did their jobs great. Like you said, from the animators to the actors, they're all at the top of their game. It's just more with like the story and the script is where most of the issues come in.
Yeah. And in that case, should we just start talking about spoilers? That way we can really like talk about what irked us and what we loved about it.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's hop into the spoiler section and let's get down to it. Just credits.
Shrimp.
um, yeah, like I said, man, for it being $30, I'm gonna start off by saying I don't think it was worth it. That's me right now, how I
You
feel
know,
about it.
it's like it's to be honest, it's one of those things where I don't think any movie can really justify that $30 price tag, with a lot of the Disney things like, I think this is only the second one with this one in Milan coming to Disney Plus with that premiere
Yeah.
access thing. It's kind of hard for me to say that either of these two movies really justify that $30 price tag. And I don't really know if there is a movie that would make me want to pay the $30 or at least tell other people to pay $30 for it. It's like, a lot of the times they can be like, that is a pretty good chunk of change just to like have a
Hop on a
movie.
movie.
Like,
Yeah.
and like you can like rent movies for like what this is like $7 on like Amazon and stuff. So it's like when there are other prices like that, it's kind of like you're already paying the subscription fee for the month. And now with like HBO Max just putting their movies, all these new Warner Brother releases movies just on there. If you have the subscription, it just seems kind of like, what are you doing here, Disney? It doesn't seem like it's the best move because you're kind of forcing people to maybe look at other ways of watching the movie,
Oh, I'm sure someone's already pirated it and sold it or be able to download it at home and stuff for free. So that's inevitable.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, now that when you put it that way, $30 is regardless of the movie is a pretty big price point. Not even some of my favorite movies, I would say, yeah, I would spend $30 on. Like,
Yeah.
even on iTunes, that like some of the new releases, like Wonder Woman and stuff, even though Wonder Woman was on HBO, but the fact that you can rent it for $20, even that's a little steep for rental. But
Hmm.
given we throw that money down when we go to the movie theater, so I guess it really just depends. What are you willing to do? Each personal preference, but
That is true.
so yeah, the story overall though, I thought wasn't bad. It was a little interesting that it was a pretty small world of like everything spanning along this dragon style river, Kumandra, and
Hmm.
it took me a little bit to realize like each village or each tribe was part of the dragon, like talon, fang, spine, heart, and
Tail.
tail. Yeah, so I thought looking back on that, I thought that was pretty clever.
Hmm.
I like some of the details in the clothes and the characters and stuff that kind of thought, okay, this is pretty standard. I thought it was going to be pretty much, in all honesty, I thought originally it was going to be like a Chinese like themed film just because the dragon seemed very uh, like Chinese style almost, where it's very long and, slick with like a small face and stuff. But the fact that it was kind of like a melting pot of like Asian cultures, I thought was interesting.
Hmm.
At first I was like, but then it's also, I think, if I like Avatar and Korra the Last Airbender, it really doesn't matter. It's basically the same kind of idea. So,
Yeah, yeah, it's not something for me to like really pick out, not really being too knowledgeable of like Southeast Asian stuff. So it's like I'm not
yeah.
really I'm not an authority, so I'm not gonna really like
I'm not a
be able to
historian.
nitpick. Yeah, and I'm not be able to nitpick a lot of those things. So it's like for me as someone, outside of that culture, I enjoyed what I saw. Was it accurate? I don't know.
I
But
have no fucking idea. I'm not
yeah,
gonna
I don't know. So I'll let someone who knows
lie.
speak on that.
Yeah, I could be wrong about the Chinese dragon thing too, but um like I said, it was just it threw me off at first, but overall, I didn't mind that. The characters actually really sold it for me, to be honest. Like Raya and her dad Benji were pretty
Hmm.
cool. Or no, Benja. I think it was Chief Benja. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
right.
Chief Benja or something like that.
Um, and but no, my favorite characters were either Sisu or Noi, the little baby, the Khan
the
baby.
little con artist baby.
Yeah, because she was just so adorable, so chunky, and just so full of like energy and expression. It's like, how do you not love that little kid and her little band of monkeys that she has with her that help her rob stuff? Like,
Hmm.
I thought that was adorable. But Aquafina playing Sisu was easily my favorite part of the movie, just
Hmm.
because she was just such a goofball and just her voice is so iconic. Like, I could pick that anywhere. I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah,
Aquafina.
yeah. She did such a great job with the voice acting, like almost like Robin Williams, Eddie Murphy level. Just her personality really came through in the voice acting and the animation of the character. It all synergized really well.
Especially with the credit not spine. It was
Was
tail.
it
No,
was it
not tail.
tail?
No, I think it was Talon. Talon sounds right. I think where no shit. I don't remember because she found her in tail, and then I think they went. Then they went to not spine was the bamboo forest. Fang was the last one. So maybe it was Talon actually when they went where it's like Singapore. Like I felt like it was very Singapore aesthetic.
Hmm.
And yeah, just where she's like, I'll take this on credit and just walk around
Yeah.
like a goofball. Like I could totally see Aquafina in the live action thing doing something like that, just getting a bunch of shit, trying to please everybody with gifts.
Yeah, yeah, just like her and her gifts. It was just cracking me up the whole time. Like, I have a plan. I'll go and I'll give him a gift. It's
And
like,
yeah,
oh
just
my
everything
gosh.
was gifting. And it's like that. So essentially, your way is bribing people or buying your affection. Like, cool. That's really, really supportive there.
She was just so kind-hearted. She
She
had
was,
she
yeah.
had a lot of like faith in people. So it was just
She
kind of
had
like, oh, like,
way too faith in people, just totally
uh,
naive. But it was also just like that's it. This movie had a lot of commentary on like the social values of today, where it's like a lot
hmm,
of people are just out for their own, don't, it's my problems, not yours kind of thing. And
yeah,
she was just kind of like that old school way of thinking, like we're all in it together. Let's band together, work together, and just show each other that we can trust each other. Like you have to give it to kind of get it. And so I actually didn't mind that, but at the same time, like, yeah, people are just savage. So you can't. I wouldn't have done that, but it obviously because like Raya when she tried to trust Namari, who played by Gemma Chan, which I thought was damn, totally didn't see that, but that was really cool. She did that, and how Namari just totally fucks her over in the first like 10 minutes of the movie. I thought, what the hell is
yeah.
your problem? Like,
That's it. That scene was kind of hard to watch,
and
man.
she was
Like,
proud to do it. Like it was beyond like I. But then if you look at her character, it was very much like she's very not. I guess patriotic would be the word. Very like loyal to her mom and her lands and stuff. So
hmm,
I guess anyone would do that in that situation, even when the person's giving you kindness, because it's like, well, you're stupid enough to trust me, so that's on you. But
hmm,
again, that's just that style of thinking. Like this movie is basically saying, yes, everybody has their own problems, but in the end, we all want the same thing. So let's work together to get it.
yeah. And I did like that message of the movie with like, people having to come together to really, make change happen.
Yeah, and actually, I also really liked Captain Boone. He was really
I was about to
funny.
say, like, Boone was probably one of my favorite characters. Just, he's just the shrimp boat captain. He's the Bubba of of the Raya universe.
And he's just trying to he's a kid trying to be a businessman just because his family's stoned, essentially, not in that
Hmm.
traditional stone, but
Yeah, not that
turned to
stone.
stone. They tried stoning me, my dear. It did not work.
Did not.
When did they start allowing women of the night on state grounds?
Various have tiny songstress.
So those are my top three though: Sisu, now the baby or Noi, and Captain Boone. Like I
Hmm.
did like Tong, and Raya was awesome. Her sword was great. Tuk Tuk was awesome, but it was those three that I'm like, you guys were the funnest to watch and like to really hear. So,
Hmm.
and actually that was the kid from Good Boys too, the super cool like kid who had the party at the end. Do you remember?
Oh, like the kissing party at the end of the
Yeah.
movie.
If you go upstairs, you can never come back. Oh my God, no way. The kid just went straight upstairs like he didn't give a shit. Um, again, the casting was really great. The only non-Asian person was Alan Tudyk from like iRobot, Knight's Tale. He was a redheaded guy, the ginger,
Hmm.
and he was Tuk Tuk. So he only made like the sounds for Tuk Tuk or
Yeah,
something
he
like
just made
that. So
animal noises.
so I'm like, that's, I mean, I love him as an actor too. And I'm glad that they kind of did the reverse, like, way of doing it, where it's like a lot of like Caucasians or something, and then one like like minority. This was like all minorities, and then like one white dude in it. I just
Hmm.
had mad respect for that. But like I said, when it comes to the story, I didn't really feel anything for it. I just thought, cool, like we got to get all these gems back together, and Sisu's gonna help us. It's like, okay, like I just didn't feel anything for it. I don't know why. I just couldn't invest
Hmm.
myself into that
I
as much.
For me, yeah, I think it was due to the fact that everything just kind of felt like it was going by so quick. I think maybe had this movie been a little bit longer, we would have a little bit more time to breathe and time to get to know a lot of these characters because it does introduce a lot of characters like at a rapid pace and we do kind of get an idea of what they are, but not really a lot of their like motivation and stuff. They're just kind of get into Raya's group and they're just like, okay, the dragon's there, so we'll join your team or whatever. It's like, yeah, I mean that works on a surface level, but it's like I would have liked it to really get to know them a little bit more. It just felt like everything was moving so quickly, and we were moving on to the next piece and the next piece and the next piece, and then action scene. It's like I would have liked for this to have a little breathing room.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Honestly, but the only thing I will say is like this movie is almost 2 hours long, which is one of the longer Disney movies they've made. So it's like I just felt
I did. I thought it
this.
was like only like an hour and a half
No,
without
it
credits.
was
I
it was
mean,
like 2 hours almost. I feel like, but yeah, it's yeah, maybe it's like the story moved fast in the parts that it were in, but it just it didn't feel enough, I guess. Like I mean, it was I guess the whole point is like everybody's lost somebody, so they kind of just brushed over that stuff for the most part. But
mhm.
I couldn't get invested in it. The only part I really got emotional at, just because the way I rate my Disney movies is that if if I get super emotional and that wins it for me, like I know they
Mhm.
did a good job to peel at my heartstrings. And the only part I liked that was at the end, or the I kind of got emotional at, was when they all kind of came together after they put the stone back together. Spoiler alert.
Well, we're the spoiler section,
Yeah,
so.
exactly. It's just like, oh my god, they did it. Um, and that's when she's like, "Dad, welcome to Kamandra." Like exactly what he wanted in the beginning.
Mhm.
And I thought, damn, like that is actually like like if you think about it, you've been stoned for so long, your daughter's already an adult, and the first thing she says is like, "You were right. Like we did it. This is exactly what you wanted. Like we all band together."
Mhm.
And I was like, damn, that I would love to hear somebody say that. But the other thing I just didn't like, honestly, I kind of hated Namari and her mom, Queen Piranha. They were just bastards the whole time. They were definitely like a villain in the story.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, okay, I'm glad you said that because I didn't know if it was just me because I know that the movie wanted me at least to. I think it did so more with Namari to make her a little bit more of a fleshed out character, but for some reason I just couldn't really get myself to
Rally
like her
behind her.
as a character,
Yeah, I could not
and
rally behind her.
I really can't. I really don't know why. I don't know why like her character in particular, like I couldn't sympathize with her too much. Maybe again, like I said, we didn't get a lot from her and her mom. And I thought that at the end of the movie, with everything that happened, they kind of got off, kind of scot free. Like they didn't really have any ramifications for their actions because everyone was just like, again, I think it for the message of the movie, I guess it works, having everybody
Yeah,
come
I was gonna
together.
say the message was just to
But
forgive and forget kind of
but I
thing.
really wish there could have been something where they kind of came to terms with the mistakes that they made. Maybe a line of dialogue here or something to kind of at least give lip service to the fact that they made mistakes and they acknowledge them and they want to work to be better. So the fact that they're just like there wasn't that, it really didn't give me as an audience member so a chance to really sympathize with them or kind of get behind them and understand their motivations.
If you really think about it, they were kind of like the law-abiding citizen role, where it's like they know they fucked up, even though Piranha was like, everybody blames us for it. It's like, yeah, it was your fault. You led the coup on Heart Kingdom,
Yeah.
like so it was your fault, no matter how you spin it, that it led to what it was. But then they were prospering, and they were kind of like telling the kids like, oh yeah, this is we're the best like kingdom, like we did it, like we're on top now. It's like,
Mhm.
and then at the end they're all, yeah, I think that was a little too like
It was too
nearsighted, I guess.
neat, I think.
Yeah, way too neat. I think they should have done more where they could have, and then she's like, you think what you want, but it was you did this too. It's like, yes and no. She tried to show you something and be a friend with you, and you totally threw that away because of what like your kingdom and what your mom wanted and what you wanted. So
Hmm.
yeah, I felt like it was a very just nearsighted way of looking at it. It didn't really flesh out that she was a villain, even though the Druins were the real villain. And I thought they were more like dragons than the actual dragons, where Sisu's talking about it, she's like, oh, they just breathe fire, they like bring fire and chaos to the world. And it's like, that's a lot how dragons are viewed in other cultures, but in Asian cultures, dragons are viewed more like gods and worshipped, in some
Mhm.
stories. So I thought that was kind of interesting take on it. But yeah, like I said, it was okay. I would I recommend this to somebody? Yeah, maybe when it's free for sure. Definitely worth a
Yeah,
watch.
definitely when it comes to, Disney that's just like free access, which I think will be in what, maybe like a few months or something.
Yeah, something like that. It'll be a few months. It's just it sucks. I know Disney's got to make money and they're in the position to charge this, but it's also like you said, HBO Max is releasing almost their whole lineup this year on the app. So it'd be nice if Disney did the same thing, but they're the ones who usually make stacks of cash every year because of Marvel and their animated movies. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, like I said, I'm sticking with the 3 out of 5. It was beautifully animated, like the water, the hair, the
Oh
the
my God,
clothing
dude, the hair.
textures. It
I could
it
not
looks
get over
so
the hair.
real. Yeah, especially Sisu's hair when she was all human. Just
Yeah,
it had
yeah.
like the
Sisu's and Raya's, just how unkempt it was and how you can see individual strands and how I don't know. I was just blown away by the hair for some reason. I was like, this looks crazy good.
yeah, and the expressions on each of the faces too was way more like just so much more out there. It was really well done. And yeah, like I said, the animation top notch, the characters great, cast fantastic, but plot it just kind of was a downer. Like it just wasn't that good.
Yeah, it's like all the other technical aspects were really good, but they just kind of got weighed down by just the basicness of the plot, I guess.
Exactly. But I got nothing else for it. What about you, Burn?
I mean, no, nothing else to mention other than, like I said, the influences that I saw there with like, with Tarantino and like some of like the fight,
Oh yeah,
scenes and
I was
stuff.
gonna ask like what part was Tarantino esque for you? Like or
Well, I mean, like, I saw like a little bit of it where Namari and Raya have their confrontation outside of the gates of where was that place? Was it Talon where they meet Benedict Wong's character and outside the village their
that
first
was
hand to
that
hand
was
combat fight.
Spine.
That was
Yeah.
Spine. Okay, yeah. So that kind of scene there kind of reminded me of like Kill Bill, where they're like in the koi garden, the bride and Lucy Liu's character. So I was
I can
like,
see
oh,
it.
there's a little bit of like, thing here, which of course, Tarantino's influenced by, Asian films. So it's like, it's all it's all referencing itself basically.
Yeah.
And then kind of like when they're planning their heist, it gave me like a lot of I guess got like kind of like Guy Ritchie or Steven Soderbergh vibes, like
Yeah, just
Ocean's 11 and stuff, just how they're talking it out and we're seeing it play out and stuff. I thought that was pretty fun.
Captain Boone's and Cece's were hilarious. Just one's
Hmm.
trying to be all action packed, like no over the top. The other one's just, oh my god, a gift, we're best friends. And they ride off. It's like,
Yeah.
no, no, you both are idiots, all of you.
So
And
yeah,
then
I just thought those like little references to me were at least pretty cool.
last thing to end off on, this is gonna be a little controversial, but did you get the vibe Raya was LGBTQ? Like she was potentially her and Namari could have had a relationship.
You see, I was wondering the same. Like I was like, am I the only one that's kind of like getting this vibe a little bit
Oh, I
between the two of
totally got
them?
that. Absolutely, I got that. Just like when they first meet, they're both girls. Neither of them are necessarily like masculine. It doesn't. I mean, that's not even the point. But their connection, it felt authentic, and it felt more than just friends. Like they both had so much in common,
Hmm.
and even when they were fighting, like they were getting really close to each other. Like it was just a little. I just got like a little more romantic vibe. And even Kelly Marie Tran in an interview, she's like, I would be fine with that. She's like, I'll
Hmm.
probably get in trouble for it, but whatever. Like saying that. So
Yeah. So I didn't know if it was just like me, bringing that onto the characters. So the fact that you mentioned it, I wonder if like other people are kind of getting that similar vibe because I did. I thought there was a little bit of tension between them.
and I'm gonna say Disney should just embrace it. Just do it for one of these characters. Like, who cares? I mean, I don't really think it matters, but I'm an adult, so it doesn't. I mean, I'm sure when you have children, it's a little more complicated. But even then, I'm like, who cares? Just it's part of the story, no big deal. But yeah, just because it was like a Captain Marvel situation where it's like she was best friends with Rant was no, it was Maria Rambo.
Maria, yeah.
They were supposed to be like best friends. I'm like, no, there's a little more than friendship going on here, I feel like. But that's neither here nor there. So other than that, that's pretty much all I got for it. I liked it. I just wouldn't. It's definitely not one of the best. It's no Coco for me. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, yeah, it's not. I mean, with the other Disney release, being Soul, the animated movie that came out not too long ago, I feel like that one, if we're gonna compare them, would have justified the $30 price tag more, at least personally for me. So that's why I'm a little more hesitant to recommend people go out and pay that and watch it now, as opposed to maybe just waiting a little bit longer and enjoying it, for free.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely better than Mulan. Like, if you had to choose either
Yes.
Mulan or this one, like the live action Mulan, it's like I'd rather watch this than live action Mulan.
Yeah, yeah. And again, this is not a bad movie by any means. 3 out of 5. It's solid movie. You're gonna get enjoyment. If you want to pay the $30 and you're interested in it, then by all means, go ahead because you're probably gonna enjoy this movie. It's just, I wouldn't have paid the $30 again to do.
No, definitely not. But that'll do it for me. Now we gotta wait for our next big release, man, which is Snyder Cut. I can't wait for it. We gotta rock our Snyder shirts when we watch it, Burn.
Definitely. I got them all. I got them all in my closet right now.
Mine are in the mail.
Gonna go pick them up.
All right, man. But for everybody, like I said, let us know in the comments if you're interested in this movie, or if you got it, let us know what you thought of it. We'd love to hear your thoughts, whether you liked it or not. Totally open to it. But until then, stay bodacious, keep on ranting, all that good stuff, and have a great week, everybody.
Exactly. Like, subscribe, keep the conversation going, y'all, and be safe and be good to each other.
Oh, and everybody wants some music as well. I mean, not that I'm offering, to take our musician away, but Solozano Productions, he's awesome. He makes some good jams. So
our intro, natural music. So
yeah, it's pretty solid. So if you guys have any questions on that, let us know in the comments. You email us, all that good stuff. But
absolutely.
Until next time, deuces, Burn.
Adios, brother man.